Thanks fam. In today's video I will be showing you how to get the perfect beads of acrylic, as well as what to do, what not to do, and I will also be demonstrating this technique on 3 false nails. So if you want to grab your necessities and do it along with me, which is best, grab your stuff and just keep watching. So here I'm going to use a paper towel as my mat. I'm also going to use some liquid monomer from Mia's Secret. As well as for demonstration purposes, I'm going to use this Cover Pink acrylic powder from Mia's Secret as well. You want to make sure that you keep everything in the same family, so I'm using the same brand. And here I'm just showing you that this acrylic powder is very finely milled and it has glitter specks in it. You're going to need a dapping dish. I also got this brush from Amazon. It's a cheap brush. It's a size number 10 and it's an oval brush. So you don't necessarily have to have like expensive brush. You can do this with a cheap brush. So when you apply your monomer, you want to make sure you pour it onto your actual brush at an angle, and you want to gently press down with your brush into the dapping dish so you can get all of the air bubbles out. Once all of the air bubbles out, you're good to go. So the number 10 is going to be facing up when we are putting it into the monomer. When we are going to pick up acrylic and apply acrylic, we're going to have that number 10 facing down. So if you have a size 7, a size 14, same technique applies. And that is very crucial. You want to make sure that you are turning your brush because that's key. And then it's best for me. I found it easier if your acrylic powder, like the container, is at an angle. It's easier for you to pick it up because you're only picking beads of acrylic up with the very tip of your brush. So here I'm going to demonstrate small beads, medium beads, and large beads. So to get a small bead, you're going to take the brush from the barrel all the way to the tip. For a medium, you're going to go from the barrel all the way to the middle. And for a large, you're going to just slightly tap off a little bit at the very edge, back of the brush. Just like that. So remember, when you are dipping into the monomer, the number or the logo, whatever, is going to be facing up. When you are going to pick up acrylic, you are going to have that number facing down. So we applied our first bead. Now let me break this part down for you. We're going to go in and we're going to tap off most of the monomer. I'm going to go in with the very tip of my brush and tap 3 times into the acrylic, and that's how you get a perfect bead. You see how it's glossy, how it's beautiful? That's what you want. So we're going to do the same thing again. Tap off, we'll wipe off 3/4 of the brush, tap it into the acrylic 3 times, and you get the perfect size bead every time. Now for a medium, we're going to dip and wipe off half of it, tap 3 times into the acrylic, and you get a perfect bead. Look at that. Same thing. Dip it, wipe off half, tap 3 times into the acrylic. Boom. Same size bead. Same thing again. Wipe off half, dip it 3 times into the acrylic with just the tip. Boom. Same size bead. For a large, we're going to wipe off just a little, tap 3 times, making sure that number 10 is facing down. Apply it to our paper towel. Boom. Same thing again. Wipe off just a little bit, tap 3 times, that number 10 is facing down, and we're going to apply it to the paper towel. Look at that. Boom. One more time. The number 10 is up into the acrylic. It's facing down. When I'm applying it to my paper towel, the number 10 is facing down as well. Boom. Same size beads. Let's go back to small. We're going to wipe off 3/4 of the brush, tap 3 times with the tip, making sure I get that perfect consistency. Boom. Do it again. Wipe off 3/4 of the brush, tap 3 times with the tip, apply it. Boom. Do it again. Wipe off 3/4, tap 3 times. That number 10 is facing down. Remember that. Boom. Medium size beads, we're going to go halfway, tap 3 times. Perfect consistency. It's glossy, it's nice. We're going to apply it. You're going to wipe off half of that brush with the number 10 up, turning the number 10 down, tapping 3 times into the acrylic, tapping off any excess. waiting for that bead to become perfect, and then we're going to apply it to the paper towel. Same steps again. This is easy. If you do it with me, it becomes so much easier. I know some people are visual learners and some people can just hear things and go with it, but this method works. I promise you, it's easy. It's beginner friendly, for real, for real. So yeah, we're gonna do this one more time. Tap, tap, tap. Perfect. And we're gonna apply it. We're gonna do it again, wiping off just a little bit, tapping it 3 times. That number 10 is facing down. Make sure you get that turning of the brush. You got to get that down pat, because it's gonna help you. It's gonna help you. This is how you gonna become perfect. Practice makes perfect, but if you have the right techniques and the proper knowledge about it, you good to go, baby. So you won't be doing no ugly nails. Boom, look at that. So easy. Now I did some more off camera. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like when your brush is too dry, what your beads will look like. And this is a lot of people's mistakes. So we're going to wipe off most of that most of that monomer. I'm going to tap it into the acrylic 3 times. And as you see, it's like chalky, powdery. Look at that. No ma'am, we not applying it to nobody nails. So this is what it looks like when your bead is too wet. That's not cute. That's not right. So I'm going to show you again another example of when your bead is too wet. This one here is going to drip off of my brush. That's too wet, baby. We don't want that. That will flood your cuticles. So this one is too wet as well, and as you see when I'm patting it out, that will flood your cuticles as well, and it's going to be too sheer. So if you learned something from today's video, make sure you subscribe if you aren't already. Turn on your notifications so you'll know every time I upload. If you did learn something, if this video was very informative, give it a like. Click that bell so that way you'll be notified every time I upload. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get to a practice nail. So I'm going to be using a tip, and this is crucial. You always want to make sure that gravity is working with you. You never want to hold your nail, a client's nail, or a tip in my case, like just horizontal like that. No, you want the nail to be downwards, so gravity can help pull this acrylic down the nail for you. So you're going to apply your acrylic. I don't have like a preferred method for me. I don't do a 1-ball, 2-ball, or a 3-ball method. I just do what works best for me. So my advice to you would be to do what works best for you. So I'm going to pick up a medium-sized bead and tap it 3 times with that number 10 facing downwards, and I'm going to apply it right up at the cuticle. Now I'm going to push this. As you can see, it's not oozing, it's not running nowhere, it's not too dry. I could work with it. It's moving and grooving how I need it to be. And that's all you do. Make sure you hold your fingernail, your client's fingernail, your practice hand, or a nail tip downwards. Make sure you practice that. And then once you apply another bead, you can always work it backwards like what I'm doing now to help blend it in better. And any parts that is like translucent, or it needs, is not built up to the proper structure or strength, you want to apply small beads. Do what works best for you, okay? Don't worry if the nail is like hella bulky, because you can always go in and file it, but you do want to make sure that you built your apex up. That is very crucial, because if your apex is not there, guess what? That nail gonna break. And you want to make sure the very tip of your nail is no thicker and no thinner than a credit card. The reason being is if it's too thin, it's gonna break. If your apex is not strong enough, it's gonna break, and it's gonna break in that meat, and it's gonna hurt, and it's gonna bleed. So here I'm going in the same family with the clear acrylic powder from Mia's Secret, and this nail here we're going to cap it. So I'm going to pick up a medium-sized bead, tap 3 times with that number 10 facing downwards, and then I am going to apply it around the cuticle areas, and then I'm going to bring it down the nail. This is a very thin layer. The reason being is because I am going to cap this bomb ass glitter I got from Walmart for $2.97. Look at this holographic glitter, and this one is called Unicorn Disco. pretty. $2.97, baby, go pick it up. So while the acrylic is still wet, I'm going to just dip my brush in that glitter, and I'm just going to apply it straight to the nail. And once I feel like, you know, that's cool enough for me, I'm going to go in and cap it with a medium-sized bead. So the thin layer was just to be able to encapsulate it so that the nail won't be too bulky or too big, like So here I'm going in with a medium-sized bead. I'm going to start up at the cuticle area, push that in, move it in how I need it to be, building up that apex, and then when I get towards the bottom of the nail, I am going to thin it out. So it's going to be like a cute ombre taper, you know what I mean, but in acrylic form. So anything that gets on the side walls, if it's like, you know, running down that way, you want to make sure you wipe it off and just pat it all into place. And anywhere that you see fit, just add a small bead of acrylic, and baby, look, you good to go. So as you can see here, I built up the apex nice, and the very tip of the nail is not too thin and it's definitely not too thick. Now remember, if your nail is like bumpy, has ridges or whatever, you still have to go in and foul it, but don't over foul it. So as you can see, that's nice. And then here is another glitter that I got from Walmart as well for $2.97. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did for the last nail. So yeah, if you have any suggestions of what you want my next YouTube video to be, leave it down there in the comment section. I read all of my comments. I respond back to everyone. You know, this channel is for what y'all want. So, you know, what you want, you're gonna get. So all you gotta do is just let me know what it is that you want me to do. If it's nail art, if you want me to do more acrylic applications, if you like, whatever the case may be, you want me to do a nail hack, nail hacks that works, nail hacks that don't work, just let me know. That's all you gotta do. I promise you, because I'm here for y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's the Banks fam. I gotta look out for y'all. So yeah, that's all that we're doing. And I filed, shaped, and buffed the nails off of camera, but I did come back on camera and I show you how the nails look before I apply a top coat. And I'm applying a top coat on top of these nails, and you can see it for yourself. Like the ring light that I have, it's gonna show you if there's any imperfections in the nail. So with this method, it works. It's very beginner friendly. So like I said, if you need to slow this video down, if you need to rewatch it, it's best if you do this with me, because you can see what I'm doing and you can do it yourself. So if you're having a problem or whatever the case may be, you can just go back and rewatch it, or slow it down, speed it up, however you want to do it. So yeah, that's that. And yeah, this is how I clean off my brush. So I dip it into the monomer and then I wipe it off. I take my fingernail and I kind of like scratch over it to make sure there's no acrylic in there, because if it is, it's gonna dry and my brush is gonna be fucked. So yeah, after everything's said and done, my brush is perfect. It's back to how it was when I first got it. So here I'm applying the top coat, like I said, to all of my nails, and any dust, any fur, you want to make sure that you wipe these nails off with nail polish remover, acetone, isopropyl alcohol, whatever you have, to make sure you get all the dust and lint and stuff away from it. So after I applied the top coat, I cured it, and this is what the nails look like. The very tip of the nail is good to go. The apex is there. My cuticles is not bulky. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool. So this is my practice sheet, and this is the 3 nails that I demonstrated to you all. So that's all the same size. Medium is all the same size. Large is all the same size. Even for the other sheet, like, this is what you want. This consistency. Keep practicing it until you get it correctly. So that's what you want. And then this little row here, that's what you do not want, baby. Thanks for watching. Until next time, bye.